Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Housing. My name's Sarah Eggleston. I'm with John L. Scott, and I bring the weekly real estate news. This is the first episode of the new year. So happy new year, happy 2021. I'm really excited to get this year underway and see what it may bring. I want to start off by saying happy Blue Friday. Got my little colors on here. Excited about the game tomorrow. That's gonna be a real good one. So I'm totally can't wait for that. It's gonna be so fun. So I'll go ahead and get my screen shared here. Perfect. And as I said, happy Blue Friday. Last week, the Seahawks did take away a very, very close win. Man, that was another nail-biting ending. Our Seahawks just love to give us a little bit of a heart attack near the end of the game. But it was a really good game, and we ended up coming out on top. Tomorrow, we're in the wild card round of the 2020 NFL playoffs. So they'll be taking on LA. So make sure to tune in and check out our Seahawks. Hopefully they take away the big W tomorrow. So as far as news, the biggest overarching news story, I guess, is Governor Inslee announced the Healthy Washington Roadmap to Recovery. This is a 2-phase program. All counties start out in phase 1, starting on January 11th. So I'm not going to go too deep into this. I did link the article below in the description. So I do highly recommend you go and check that article out. It's just, there's too much in there for me to really get into on a real estate show. But this begins January 11th. So on Monday, Monday. And it divides up, there's certain phases, or where's my mouse? There's certain criteria that each region needs to meet in order to pass to phase 2. So those are right here. There's also, in order to remain in phase 2, they have to maintain 3 of these 4 metrics. So I highly encourage you to go check out the article that I linked below. But instead of doing it by county, they're separating it into regions that share health systems. So Puget Sound, King, Pierce, Snohomish, we're all one unit. So that is probably the biggest change on the Healthy Washington plan from any of the previous COVID reopening plans. And as I said, there is a lot to that this Healthy Washington does cover. So this is just the screenshot from that article. I'm not going to go over it again, but highly recommend you check that out. Inslee on the 31st of December also extended the eviction moratorium. So that will be extended until March 31st. There's certain people can't be evicted out of their home, with very few exceptions. There are a few exceptions, like if this owner of the home wants to either move in or sell the property, they can't evict the tenant, or if the tenant is a danger to those around them, they can be evicted. But it's very hard to evict a tenant at the moment, and that'll be continuing until March 31st. But there's also some extra support for landlords and property owners out there. So if this is something that you're interested in, please reach out. I'd love to have a conversation. This came out in the Seattle Times just yesterday. Seattle area home buyers face tough market even in winter slowdown. And normally in the real estate market, we see an influx of new listings come on in the spring and summer, and then we kind of start to run out of inventory. They call it the winter cleanup in fall and winter. And that did happen a little bit. There were few listings coming on the market in December, but it is far more active in this market than it was a year ago. And so the condo market is definitely facing a different market. Like I've mentioned the tale of two markets before, and that still is in play. The condo market in Seattle is down 4% on their median price, but it's up everywhere else, like significantly. If you like take a look at this picture here, you can see Seattle as a whole is up 33%. Southwest King County is up 33.5. Southeast King County is up 34.5 from the home values a year ago. And yeah, you can certainly see that in all four of our area counties, home values have gone up quite significantly over the past year. So this one came out last week, and for the first time in 100 years, Seattle renters outnumber homeowners. Seattle has typically been a pretty strong homeowner city. In 1910s was the last time we saw more renters than homeowners. However, the prices being pushed up in the area, there's a whole bunch of reasons why people rent, but the main one is the barrier to entry on the price. And owning a home is how most families increase their wealth it's how most families increase their wealth, is through real estate ownership. However, those people who haven't been able to make that jump into home ownership are finding it harder to, break in, and because the home values have gone up so much. And the low interest rates last year did give a little bit of a help, but really we need to see some sort of adjustment in the what am I trying to say? The equity of the renters. We need to see some sort of thing to allow them to jump into the homeowner market. There's just that barrier to entry there that a lot of people are having trouble breaking through. So now we are at 50.3% renters and 49.7% homeowners. I just thought this was a really interesting thing to see over time. And as far as mortgage rates, we did hit the new year with extremely low rates again. We've had record low rates throughout this whole year. We hit, was it 15 or 16 record lows last year in 2020? So we are right back where we were. We are at 2.65, down from 2.67 last week. It did tick up a couple weeks ago, but we're heading back down again. And it was 3.64 a year ago. So we're down almost an entire percentage point from a year ago, which really increases buyers' buying capability. And this was the instant reaction from the National Association of Realtors. Mortgage rates started out the new year with a new record low. And I've been saying that the whole time. We've been ticking down, and now we are at a record low entering the new year, and dropped again from the last week. And basically, we are expecting interest rates to rise over the course of the coming year. So if you haven't gotten that refinance in, and you have a mortgage, go ahead and reach out to your lender now. If you need a recommendation for somebody, just reach out to me. I'm happy to get you in contact. And yeah, the interest rates are so low, it's just mind blowing to me. So in the last week, we had 454 new listings, 546 pendings, and 506 sold in King County. And if we break that over to the graph, you can certainly see this big dip in the new listings right around the holiday period. We got to a very few number of houses coming on the market. However, during the Christmas week, there's not as many people out shopping for homes, but we are certainly seeing that jump back now. We're getting a few more listings, and I feel like we will get a few more listings earlier in the year, kind of like we did last year before the pandemic hit. It looked like it was going to be an early spring market, and then the pandemic hit and kind of just slammed on the brakes and gave us all a little bit of whiplash, but jumped back right back in. And I feel like the beginning of this year, we'll see more listings come on the market than we typically do at this time of year. So hopefully buyers will be getting a little bit more inventory to choose from by spring. And as far as month-end stats, I have a couple here for you. This is King County stats. The light green is for sale, the dark green is sold, and the red line is pended. So you can see that we have, almost double the amount sold as we did for sale last month. So we are just going through our inventory super, super quickly. And if we jump over to the next, if we jump to the next slide, we're down to 0.5 months inventory for all of King County. If you look at certain areas more closely, it's way less than that. The Renton Highlands, Newcastle has very little on the market. We need listings, people. So if you are interested in listing your home, please reach out to me. I would love to help you through that process. And I just want to take a moment to point out that from this time a year ago, we are down 36% in the amount of inventory that we have for sale. And yet our solds is up 22.3%. And this is during the slow season. So these numbers are just intensified by that. There's a lot of buyers out there looking for homes, not a lot for sale. Home values are rising quickly. And unless something big happens, I don't really see a change in that soon. So hopefully in the spring, we will get a little bit of reprieve for these buyers out there by having a little bit more inventory on the market. But if you are looking to sell your home, there is really not a better time than right now. If you do have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My number and email are on the screen there. I will be back here again next Friday at 3 p.m. So make sure to tune in. This has been This Week in Housing. I'm Sarah Eggleston with John L. Scott, and I will see you next week, Friday at 3 p.m. Have a great week.